Welcome back to Family on Purpose, where we believe that strong families don't just happen, but through intentionality and purposefulness, strong families are made. We're excited to have you with us today. And today we're going to be focusing on 5 powerful and practical things that husbands can do to set their wives up for success. And this is for every husband who doesn't just want to be a good guy, but they want to be a godly leader. And this is for every wife who wants to be seen, heard, and supported and set up for success by their husbands. So if you enjoy today's podcast, please like, share, forward this to your friends. Help us to get the word out. We have a free downloadable episode guide ready and waiting for you after you finish this episode. It includes what we go over today as far as the 5 things that husbands can do to set their wives up for success. But that's not it. It also includes many more things that husbands can do to bless their wives, as well as discussion guides and self-reflection topics. And so we encourage you, download the free episode guide. Also, please subscribe, like, and share this podcast. Family on Purpose needs your help to get the word out. So please help, leave reviews, everything helps. We are also donor funded. And so if you feel led to do so, there is a giving link provided below. But I don't know about you, Derek, but I am ready to dive into today's topic of 5 ways that husbands can set their wives up for success. Are you ready?
Well, I'm ready. I'm a little nervous. So we haven't scripted this. I don't know what's on her list. She doesn't know how I'm going to respond, good or bad. And so I'm a little nervous to hear what you have and hope that I can provide some insight to it.
Okay, you bet. Well, we'll start with number 1. And number 1 is the most important, but anything else I think can be jumbled around as far as order of importance goes. So the first thing, the top thing, number 1 that a husband can do to set their wives up for success is to seek God as you lead her and your family. Probably not come as a surprise to you, right?
Not a surprise. And I agree. Completely and totally agree. I think that's the greatest thing husbands can do is to lead their wives and families spiritually in a relationship with God, to lead everybody in a relationship towards God, and help make faith each person in the family, right? Hey, lead out in your own faith and then lead others in their faith.
Yep, that's right. That's right. And I think you carry the weight of responsibility for us. Like you are responsible. Husbands are responsible for their wives. You're responsible for your children. You're going to have to answer for your actions to the Lord. And so there's a heavy weight that you carry. And I think at times where you lead us, or you've led us our whole lives, but just those times where you're like, I have sought the Lord. This is the direction that he's saying to go. That gives me all the confidence in the world, knowing you have sought him, which is Proverbs 3:5-6. Do not lean on your own understanding, but in all ways acknowledge the Lord and he's going to make your path straight. And so as you're taking us down that path, when you have not leaned on your own understanding, when you have sought the Lord and gone for his direction, it builds confidence in me. It makes it really easy for me to follow you.
Yeah, that's good. Well, I think for husbands, they are the spiritual leader of the home. It's just a matter of whether they are leading intentionally, whether they are seeking God, or whether they're not.
Right.
I was talking with a guy the other day, and he and his wife are challenged on a decision that they want to make. He's leaning towards yes. She's unsure. And she has concerns. She has, well, what about this? And what about that? And what about this? And we ended up, hey, sometimes did you, dude, seek God? And if you feel confidently that you sought the Lord, that he led you in a direction, or you have peace, or however you hear from him, if you feel good about that, you need to lead out. And that makes it easier on her to say, okay, if you feel confidently about this and you've sought the Lord about this, then I'm willing to say, okay, my concerns will be secondary or tertiary, not primary concerns.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Not only leading your wife, but when you lead the family in seeking God, as you lead our kids, that speaks volumes to me as your wife, that I know that you're leading them to the Lord, or I know that the decisions that we make on their behalf we have sought God for his good and perfect will.
Right. Right. And I would encourage husbands, I don't think that this has to be, and please jump in from a wife's perspective. This doesn't have to be quiet time for X number of minutes every morning. This doesn't have to be number of devotions. This doesn't have to be Bible chapters memorized. This doesn't have to be formalized. This is at the heart level, at the spirit level, seek God and want God's will for your family, and then live that out.
Right.
Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay.
Perfectly accurate. Well done. Yes.
Okay.
So number one is seeking God as you lead your wife and your family. That is the number one thing that a husband can do to set his wife up for success. Number two is to provide safety and security. And that is physical safety, mental safety, emotional safety, spiritual safety. And so as a wife, I want to feel secure with you and I want to feel safe with you on all fronts.
Okay. What are all of those fronts?
Okay. So mentally, that you're not mentally abusive to me, that you're not manipulative to me, that you're not playing mind games with me, that you fight for me to have a sound mind. Emotionally, the same thing. Like you're not tearing me down with your words or your actions. Or I know husbands that literally make their wives crazy. Like seriously, that they cannot trust their spouse.
Yeah,
and that
tough.
is emotional turmoil.
Yeah.
That really is when you're wondering, okay, what are they doing? Who are they talking to? They say this, but we found out different things. That is not emotional safety.
Yeah.
Physical safety, obviously, like we can talk about physical abuse, to never be physically harsh with a woman, but also physical safety. Like there's a roof over my head.
Yeah.
I have a place to live in, like
that makes sense.
Just that basic need. So, those are to me just
okay. So when those are safe and secure, how does that, besides the lack of negative, terrible things, how does just those being at baseline or positive, how does that help make a wife successful?
It sets a wife up for success because I'm not in a turmoil of worry. How is my husband going to treat me? How is he going to behave? I don't have all this chatter in the background. I don't have all of the worry, that I can be present and engaged. So I'm set up for success to be your wife, to be our children's mom, to be whatever role that I'm in. It's not that I'm trying to constantly think of how am I going to clean up this mess? How am I going to cover up this mess? How am I going to have a breakthrough in this mess or be healed from this mess?
Yeah, that makes sense. What about financially? Would financially fall in there as well?
Yes, I think financially, absolutely. And I think finances, that's such a broad
I know.
stroke,
it's a broad
right?
stroke.
But I think are our basic needs met? Do we have food? Do we have clothing? Do we have shelter? Yes, we can go on to something so lavish of like some wives believe, they need
do I have a lake house?
Tropical vacation every year or whatever. But financial needs being met and that could probably be an entire different episode.
It very well could.
Because I think about, are you on the same financial team?
Yep.
Where we have a goal that we're working towards.
Join us for Are You on the Same Financial Team? Episode number. Yes.
Yeah. So, I think a husband that works, if they are physically able, if they're a capable person that works to help to provide for the financial means and needs of the home, definitely sets a wife up for success.
I can think of the opposite of that. Years ago, there was a couple who he kind of refused to work. I would call him lazy, where the husband didn't work. He didn't maintain a steady job. He kind of was at home doing nothing, which caused her to work, which put strains on her other responsibilities and duties as a wife and a mom. So if you're a husband and you're not working, get to work. And hey, we have a responsibility to provide for our family. And it doesn't mean you have to be the breadwinner. It doesn't mean you have to make more than your wife. It doesn't mean you have to be climbing the corporate ladder, but participate in and provide financial security and safety.
Right. You're a contributor and not a consumer only.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay. So number one, way to set up your spouse for success, seeking God as you lead your family. Number two, providing safety and security, which is under an entire umbrella of emotional, physical, mental, spiritual, and then financial. Providing security. The number three way that a husband can set their wife up for success is holding them accountable. So this will probably not sound great to wives. Like sometimes I don't think accountability probably has a good rap. Like, well, who wants to be called out? But I can say that you seriously do not let me get away with much. And I mean that. Like the times that I am not acting righteous, like you will call me out quicker than anyone. You'll say, you're better than that. And I'm thankful for that because I don't want to be left to my own devices. I don't want to be left to, yes, Gina, you can act whatever way in your flesh and get away with it. I want to be called out, but I also want to be called up. And so you do a great job of not letting me get away with anything. But I think with anything, holding someone accountable is it reaching their goals? It doesn't have to be, a negative accountability. It doesn't have to be, hey, you said you weren't going to do this and you did it. It can be check-ins. Hey, you said you're wanting to, okay, I'm a nutritionist. Hey, you said you were going to work with some new clients. How's that going for you? Checking in, making sure that I'm hitting the marks that I want to, reaching my goals.
Yeah, that's good. Accountability does have a bad rap and it makes it hard because nobody wants to just be an accountability partner. Mm-hmm. Hey, did you screw up today? Mm-hmm. Hey, did you screw up yesterday?
Right.
Nobody wants that.
Right.
Nobody wants that in their life and nobody wants to be that role. But I think accountable to who I know you to be,
right,
who God created you to be, how wonderful you are, and not living up to that potential. Yeah, that feels like encouragement more than accountability, but I absolutely see where you're going. There's a book out there, How to Hug a Porcupine. And husbands, I warn you, holding your wife accountable could feel a lot like hugging a porcupine because it's going to be uncomfortable, or there's the potential that it could be uncomfortable. When somebody holds me accountable, it's not always well received from me or towards them. Mm-hmm. And so I think there is that potential as well, but it's understanding this is for a greater good,
right?
Not putting a difficult conversation, putting my comfort or discomfort. Hey, it would be way easier if mom's in a bad mood just for all of us to go do our own thing. Mm-hmm. But that's not what's best for the home. Right. That's not what's best for the kids. That's not what's best overall. Mm-hmm. Hey, what are you in a bad mood about?
Right.
Why are you fussy?
Yeah.
Might have been said in our home before.
Yeah, for sure.
And hey, understanding what it is, getting to the root of it, and then solving it together.
Right. I think it's just calling people higher.
Yeah.
Calling people higher and not sitting there. And Proverbs 27:17 says, iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. Be iron to iron in your marriage. Accountability is not fun. I can tell you a dozen times Derek has given up sugar, and it starts off really well.
This is off limits. I'm sorry. This is not going into today. No, keep going. I'm kidding.
But it starts off really well. He's like, hey, I'm not going to do sugar for 30 days, 60 days, whatever he says. And then enlists me as his accountability partner. But before this stint is over, the 30 or 60 days, it's like I'm become the enemy.
You are the bad guy.
Because, like, by the way, you said you weren't going to eat that. And so, yeah, it's not fun. But if you're doing that to achieve a goal, like, I want to help you. And so I want your help on the flip side. Like, if I'm working towards something, achieving a goal, help me to stay focused, help me to stay on track, and let me know when I get off track, even if it's not a set goal. Like, hey, Gina, man, that was really unrighteous what you said, or your thoughts or your attitude. Go ahead. I can tell you have a thought.
Yeah, I was writing it down. Timing of accountability matters.
Yes.
In the moment might not be the best time to hold somebody accountable.
I agree.
When I'm in the middle of an iced latte, might not be the time to hold me accountable for sugar. But holding you accountable for attitude or whatever it is you've asked for, maybe there's a code word. Maybe there's something. Yeah, exactly. Hey, I am reminding you of a higher standard, but it's not the time to fully jump on and attack that thing right now.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, I hear you. Let's take some time. And then also time and timing allows the Holy Spirit to work on you.
Oh, yeah.
Where I don't have to be the Holy Spirit, or a husband doesn't have to be the Holy Spirit to his wife, or a wife to her husband, but give space for the Holy Spirit to work, which goes to number one, seek God. Hey, okay, God, I need to hold Gina accountable for this. How and when is the best way to do that?
Yeah, that's great. That's really good. I think timing is so huge in marriage. Timing on on any type of communication. You know, when you want to have a serious talk, or hey, are they tired, or are they hungry or stressed? Okay, this isn't the greatest time. So you make a great point. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yep.
Okay, so number 3, hold your wives accountable, sets them up for success. And I should probably say hold them accountable in a loving way.
Loving
but
manner.
It is an act of love. Number 4, a way that a husband can set his wife up for success is believing in them and calling us up to all that we can be. I don't know if you've watched the previous podcast, but it was 5 ways that a husband could set, or a wife could set her husband up for success. And so Derek made a list of his top 5. I've made a list of my top 5, unbeknownst to each other, but I think we mirror each other a lot. And did you have believe in? Yes, you did. That was your number 5, was believe in.
That was number 5.
I didn't even know it was on his list.
That was number 5.
But it was on my list. And I think when you believe in something that sticks out to me, the fact that it's on your list and on my list, it's like, well, why would a person want to be believed in? And I think that person would have to have a growth mentality. Like, believe in me, believe that I can do this, believe that I can grow, that I can change, that I can develop new skills, that I can, whatever, be a minister in God's kingdom. And I'm not talking from a platform with a podium. I'm talking about just someone on a sidewalk and talking, just believing in me to be who God has created me to be.
I agree. I was making a note. I think the other piece is, I think I want the person that knows me best to see me and see potential or see good. Right? Because in a marriage, there is nobody that knows you better than your spouse.
Right.
Like, it just doesn't work.
Right.
And if you, who know me intimately, see potential in me, then I'll really believe it for myself. Because lots of people can say good stuff or nice stuff, or lots of people can say terrible stuff, but they don't know me. You know me. And if you see it, then I'll believe it.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. So believe in your wife, believe in them, encourage them, cheer them on. I think when we think of, the role of a cheerleader, we see probably picture female in our minds and like, oh, the wife should be the encourager, but it's equally as needed from the other side, whether it's getting, for me, a stay-at-home mom who home educates, like there is no accolades usually. Like
you get teacher of the year every year.
I don't feel like you do Teacher Appreciation Day though. And I hear in these public schools, it's all out these. It's not legit. The Apple anymore. It's like gift cards and stuff. What's up?
Cash money.
What's up? Where's my stuff? Seriously.
Okay. I'll take you. We'll go shopping.
But, I think sometimes it can feel overlooked. Like you're overlooked because you're not climbing the corporate ladder. I'm not getting promotions. I'm not doing this. Like usually my accolade is probably a testimony of the kids. Hey, if they see something good in the kids, they usually point back, well, you must have good parents or, whatever like that. But just believing in your spouse to reach their God-given potential.
Yeah.
And in any role that is, whether they're in the workforce, whether they're at home, believing in them when they can do it. Because times get tough. And even like, okay, homeschooling, when it came to Algebra 2, my goodness, like that's just beyond my skill level. But hey, you can do this. You've got this.
Yeah.
I know you can get the kids through this, or whatever that is.
Well, and I think you bring up a good point. It is believing in them and communicating it clearly. An unspoken encouragement is nothing.
Right.
Like it doesn't mean anything to anybody. So if you believe in them, communicate it and clearly communicate how, and most importantly, why.
Yeah.
Hey, you can totally get through Algebra 2 because you are smart. And look, you've done the last 10 years of math, so you're perfectly qualified and ready and trained to go into Algebra 2. You can do this. And here's why. Hey, I know you have a hard conversation with this blank family member or this organization or this thing coming up. You will do great at that because, and then a why.
Yep.
God is with you.
Yep.
You're prayerful in decision making. You've thought through it. You have wisdom. You have outside wisdom. Like, hey, you're going to do great at that.
Yep.
Believing and encouraging and communicating and giving a why makes all the difference.
Yeah, that's great. That's so good. Yeah, so cheer your wives on. Call them up. Call them up into all that they can be. So
Wait a second. Call them out and then call them up.
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay.
Yeah, call them out. Call them out and call them up.
Okay,
that's
got
right.
it. Okay,
Hey,
get it.
when you call me out, you were better than that. And then call me up. Hey, here's what I see in you. I believe in you to be this.
Okay, got it.
Okay, number 5, top ways that a husband can set his wife up for success is knowing your wife well enough to know their needs. So he can look at me, Derek can look at me in the evening and say, I've been feel like a pinball machine in that day, taking Jack here and Sawyer there and everything. And he can look at me and say, okay, you look tired. Like
in a nice way.
In a nice way.
Oh,
yeah. You look really beautiful, but you look tired. I think you need to go to bed early. I like that you recognize that in me, that you know me well enough to know I'm tired. You know what would bless me. Okay, go to rest. Have a good rest. I think about early on in motherhood, having 2 young kids or any mom of young kids, the sleepless nights, what all entails the day. It's constant eyes on the kids, keeping them safe. And so a husband who comes in from work and maybe recognizes, hey, you need a break. Why don't you go take a bath? Or do you want to go take a walk around the block? Whatever that need is, just that recognition of being seen, being known, and then helping in some way.
I can see that. Being known, being seen, and then being, I guess, recognized, are parts of it. Okay, what if a husband doesn't know? Or what if he gets it wrong? What does he do then?
That's a great question. Well, you can point blank ask, hey, what do you need? What do you need? And that's a common question in our home.
Yep.
Is every night we kind of look at the 4 of us and like, okay, what do you need tonight? What do you need? Because, hey, how was your day? Derek, are you worn out from the day's events? Like, do you need an evening of rest?
Yeah.
Do you need some physical exertion to relieve stress, whatever that is? And so if you don't know, ask, what do you need? And those things of, okay, Gina, you need to go to bed a little earlier tonight. How does it set me up for success? Well, I'm going to be refreshed. I'm going to get the extra rest, and I'm going to come in the next day present and engaged and restored and refreshed to handle whatever that lies ahead in that day, whether it's teaching the kids or ministering or just serving our family in whatever capacity that is. It sets us up for success. Or that young mom that go take the bath, or hey, do you want to go to dinner with your friends? Or I'll make breakfast for the kids. Why don't you go grab a coffee or something like that? That sets them up for success because it brings refreshment to them. It recharges them. Okay, I'm coming in again. I'm ready to change diapers again. And so it's just recognizing a need so that they're set up for success, so that energy is not depleted. Or emotionally, hey, I think you need to give your sister a call, or I think you need to go have lunch with so-and-so. If you see, hey, they're needing some time of fellowship or refreshment, engagement like that. And so
That's good. And I think asking the question is fair if you don't know, and make a mental note of what it was so that, hey, it seems like she needs a Snickers quite often. I'm going to have some of that or whatever it is, right? Hey, she needs time away. Okay, I'll make a note. Hey, she feels overwhelmed. She needs help with responsibilities around the house. Whatever it is, we can make a mental note and then learn that and go forward.
Yeah.
That's good.
She needs a date with you.
Yep.
You know, hey, we're like two ships crossing at sea. I'm not feeling a connection with you. Okay, then.
Hey, let's have some time together.
Exactly.
Right.
And that sets them up for success.
That's good. That's good.
Husbands and wives, I hope that this list is helpful to you. I hope that husbands, this provides a starting point for you to help set your wives up for success. Wives, I hope that this provides a conversation starter for you that you can tell your husbands, hey, I listened to this podcast and it talked about setting your wife up for success. Here are a few ways I think would help me. And there's a reciprocal episode of setting your husband up for success. So it's not just wife-centered or husband-centered. It's marriage-focused. But take the time to know your wife, set them up for success. The 5 ways that we went over today were, number 1, seeking God as you lead your wife and your family. Number 2, providing safety and security on all fronts. That's emotional, mental, physical, financial. Number 3, holding them accountable sets a wife up for success. Number 4, believing in them and calling your wife up to be all that God's created them to be. And number 5, knowing your wife well enough to know their needs. Men, we believe in you. We know that you have what it takes to set your wives up for success. And wives, be receptive to this. When you see your husband doing these things, commend him for them. Hey, thank you so much for seeking God on our behalf. Thank you so much for calling me up. Thank you that you love me enough to do that. Thank you for knowing me and my needs and helping me to need in my life. So we have a free downloadable episode guide for you. We'd love for you to take that, run with it, be all that you can be that family on purpose. We also have bonus content, which includes many more things than just these 5 on how a husband can set their wives up for success. We believe in you. We believe in family. We want to see every family win. Be a family on purpose.